Hey everybody, and welcome to Cooking It Real. My name is Kathy, and I'm so glad that you could join me in my kitchen today. I have a great summer salad for you today, another summer salad that is going to become one of your favorites, and you're going to want to serve it all summer long and maybe even all year long. And the star of this show is black-eyed peas. This is one of those salads that you're going to want to bring to cookouts and picnics, or it goes great as a side with grilled meats, and it's also great as it's a meal in itself. So let's get started by getting our black-eyed peas prepared. What I'm using is 1.5 cups of dried black-eyed peas. Okay, and I put them in the bowl of my Instant Pot. I gave them a good rinse. Well, first of all, before I even put them in the pot, I put them out on a sheet tray. I had a 1-pound bag, and I sorted through to make sure that there weren't any yucky ones or any rocks or anything. And I'm going to show you in a second what I found. It's very important if you're using dried beans or peas, lentils, anything like that, to sort through them. I mean, you don't have to inspect each one individually or anything like that, but you do want to give them a good look and just make sure that they're not going to have any issues. And I'll show you what I mean by issues in just a second. All right, so to 1.5 cups of rinsed dried black-eyed peas, I'm adding about 5 cups of water to my Instant Pot. That doesn't have to be exact. You just have to have enough water in the Instant Pot to cover the beans. And then we're going to put them in and get this ready. Who else loves the little sounds that this thing makes? I think it's amazing, so cute. All right, I have my thing to sealed, my little vent thing, and I'm gonna do 9 minutes cooking with a 10-minute natural release. So let's see, I'm going to manual, and I'm gonna go down, 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 down. Oh, wow, I've never done it like not looking straight onto it, so it feels kind of weird. 10:09. Okay, that's going to start going. I'm going to put it off to the side. And while it's cooking and doing its thing, you know it's working. Then we're going to do our next step, which is making the dressing. Let me get the dressing stuff. I like to make my own dressings, and this is just basically a vinaigrette. So if you don't enjoy making dressings or whatever, or you don't have time, or you just don't even feel like it, you can always use like I would use like a zesty Italian dressing. That would go good with this. Anyway, I like to make mine in jars, just basic, already used jars. I think this was like a little jar of banana peppers or something like that, pickles. And what I like to do is I like to start with my dry ingredients. Okay, so first I'm going to add to the bottom of my jar a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, fennel seed. I am a passionate fan of fennel seed, and I just love what it does for dressings. So I'm going to just put it's probably about half a teaspoon. It's not a lot, but just enough so I know it's there. But if you don't have fennel seed, you can leave that out. I'm going to do just a tiny dash of celery seed. Here we go. That's not very much. And the last dry ingredient that I'm going to add is a little bit of sugar. When I first had this dish, which is sometimes it's called cowboy caviar, you might have heard that before, but I just knew it as a black-eyed pea salad. The dressing was like almost like a sweet and sour dressing, and I just love that mix of the acid from the vinegar and a little bit of sweetness. That just tickles my tongue. So I'm going to add about, I'd say this is about a teaspoon of sugar. It's not a lot. And then we're going to use some red wine vinegar. If you don't have red wine vinegar, you can use apple cider vinegar, white vinegar, rice vinegar, whatever you like. A lot of recipes for vinaigrette use the ratio of 1 part vinegar to 2 to 3 parts oil. I prefer like a 50-50 ratio. Okay, maybe a little extra oil, maybe not. But what I like to do first, like I said, put in all the dry ingredients, then I put in my vinegar, shake, 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 shake. I just shake it. What I'm trying to do is not make a mess, which I am doing, but I can fix that. Hold on. I'm just gonna grab this up here with a little bit of paper towel. Sometimes a used jar lid is not the most watertight thing anymore once it's been opened, but no big deal, no big deal. You could do this in a blender, you could do this in a bowl with a whisk, you could do it all kinds of different ways. So I'm gonna let that sit for just a minute before we add the olive oil, and then I'm gonna talk to you about the veggies we're gonna use, okay? So the thing that makes this salad so awesome for the summertime, in my opinion, is the crunchy vegetables. So I've got celery, I got green pepper, red pepper, I've got some radishes, I got a jalapeno pepper, cucumber, I got some cherry tomatoes, some parsley from the garden, dill from the garden, and normally I would use some red onion, but today I decided I would take some of my green onion tops from my scallions out in the garden and use them instead. More of a mild flavor. But we'll get to those in just a minute. Let me give this another shake. You know, you might want to test your jar with a little bit of water before you put everything in it. All right, so I'm thinking that those things are mostly dissolved. Now I'm going to add my olive oil. I'm hoping I have enough in this canister. And I'm just eyeballing it. I think I might have to refill. I got enough in there? Come on, baby. See, you can see how it separates. You can tell how much of each you have. I'd say I have almost 50-50 with just a little bit more olive oil than vinegar. So give that another shake, 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 shake. And what I like to do when I'm making a dressing that I'm shaking up in a jar is I just put it off to the side and I shake it every time I think about it, okay? So I'm gonna shake that a bunch more times. Let's get our vegetables prepped. Before we start with the vegetables, I just wanna show you some of the things that I found while I was sorting through my black-eyed peas. Now, it's not typical that you would find a stone of any kind, but look at this. I found a rock. Can you see that? Woo! And other things, in here, look, here's two beans that I don't even think are black-eyed peas. I don't know what they are, but I don't think they are. And then I like to pick out ones that are broken, like, you know, cracked in half, something like that, or that have like dark spots, blemishes, things like that. Can you see those? Oh, that's a goner. Anyway, you just want to go through them. You want to take out anything that you find objectionable. If you happen to leave in some objectionable ones, that's not going to be a big deal. They're not poison. They're not going to hurt you. But you definitely don't want to get a rock, because if you crunch down on that thing, it could become a very expensive dental bill. And nobody wants that. All right, let's get to the veggies. Oh, let's give this a shake. Shake, shake. Go. All right. Now, if you don't want to cook black-eyed peas from scratch, you don't have to. They come in a can. I would think that 1.5 cups dried black-eyed peas is about, it's going to make about 3 to 4 cups of cooked black-eyed peas, and they're not what we want to cook them like al dente. So you could always just use a can, and then it'll come together even faster, because absolutely the thing that takes the most time about this is cooking the peas. But that's okay, because you're not having to babysit it on the stove. You're letting the Instant Pot do it in like practically no time. If you want to do it on the stovetop, what you want to do is you can pre-soak your beans overnight if you wish, or quick soak them by boiling water, putting them in boiling water, and turning it off, putting the lid on, letting it sit for an hour, and then drain that water, add fresh water, and cook it until it is the tenderness that you desire. Ew, that's kind of yucky. That's a yuck. These are going to go in my scrap bag. And I will be talking more about my scrap bag in a future video and talking about what I want to, how I use the scraps to make stock. And you could definitely cut up more of this if you want, but, or hey, if you've got like chickens, feed it to your chickens. All right, scrap bag. There you go. And this little nasty piece, we're going to feed to the worms. Worms have to eat too. All right, so celery is done. Get that in our big bowl. And let's see, I chose a red pepper and a green pepper. You can definitely do the kind of pepper you like the best. And you can totally customize this to your family's taste. If you don't like certain kinds of vegetables, don't add them. And if you like more of something, add more of something. It's totally up to you. But what I like though is to have a nice ratio of black-eyed peas to vegetables. And you know, I like a lot of vegetables because to me, that crunchiness just makes the salad so refreshing. Just love it. And I want to make pieces that will all fit together on a fork or a spoon, you know, so nobody's left behind. You don't want anything too big. It probably, if you were gonna err on the side of either too big or too small, I might make them too small, so they can all like fit it on a spoon, and you can get a couple of peas, a couple of peppers, some onion. In fact, you know, peas, like green peas, like garden peas, that is a good addition to this salad as well. All right. I don't know if anything I have to say, so I'm gonna just speed this up for you. All right? Get ready. Fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. My Instant Pot just beeped, which means that the black-eyed peas have cooked for 9 minutes. So I unplugged the machine, and we're just going to let that natural release for 10 minutes. And when 10 minutes is up, if there's still any pressure in the container, I'm just going to let it out. So that could be exciting. We'll just have to see. All right, let's give this another shake. Back to chopping. let's see if we have, yeah, we got pressure left. All right, let's see if we got dramatic footage that we can get here. Woo! All right, ready? This is probably gonna scare the cat. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's not dramatic. Hopefully these are gonna be just right. If not, I've got some cans. Covering all the bases this time. There we go. All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That looks good. Let me see if I got a spoon. I can test this. See what these beans are like. Can you see these? They're soft, but not too soft. I had to get these drained and rinsed right now. All right. Woo! Just gonna let those sit there and drain a little bit more while we finish up here. Let's see. Thank you, sir. All right. Now I have some fresh parsley and some fresh dill. Normally I wouldn't add dill, but we have so much of it growing that why not? And normally I would add the parsley always. I would add basil, fresh basil, and we have, let's see, 8 or 9 basil plants in our garden, but they're still kind of small, and we recently pinched the tops and used everything up in another recipe, so I don't have any basil to share for this one, but I have dried basil from last year, so we'll go with that. All right, one last shake, then we're going to put this together, and it is going to be easy peasy. Let me taste this too. It's good. I think it needs a little more sugar. Pinch of salt. I can taste the fennel seed, so good. A little bit of pepper. Maybe a splash more vinegar too. See, I really am a fan of 50-50, and I think I added a little more oil than what my instinct would tell me to do, but it's all good. You do you. All right, let's mix this up and see what we got. Put this off to the side. We'll be mixing you in just a moment. All right. Oh, look at this bowl of vegetables. Doesn't that look good already, just how it is? My word, that looks delightful. All right, here come our peas. They're mostly drained. Gonna everyone into the pool. Ta-da! Let's see, I use this spoon. Give it a little bit of a mix. Oh, I think I need a bigger spoon. There's a spoon. This'll work. Let's go. I'll put you guys in there too. Now, you know, if you wanted to, you could add cheese to this. I might suggest a feta cheese would be absolutely delightful. And like I said, this makes an excellent side dish, but it's also a meal in itself. I mean, the black-eyed peas are your protein source, and then you have all your veggies. Oh, so good. I'll have this with a little piece of grilled garlic bread or something like that. Oh man, would that be good. Now that looks perfect, doesn't it? All right, let's give this one more shake. And in we go. I don't know whether I'll use all of it to start. Let's just see. Let's just see. This is going to keep in your fridge for a good week. Easy, easy. So this is something that if you do batch cooking, you know, like on the weekend or something for your week ahead, this would be a great dish to have on hand. There's nothing really that challenging about it, you know what I mean? It's not like there's any kale in it, you know? Not that there's anything wrong with kale, but all right. I'm just gonna put maybe a little bit more. Or what I might do is just put the dressing in the fridge as well, and if I think it needs more, then I'll just add to it. And I'll tell you, this is also one of those kind of things that is going to get better and better over time. It's going to taste good right now, but it's also going to get better as it sits. And if you're bringing it out to a picnic or whatever, you don't have to refrigerate it. There's nothing in here that requires refrigeration. It is better cold because the vegetables stay more crunchy, but you don't have to do that, and it's just as good. All right, so I'm gonna bring you back up. We're gonna take a taste. I can't wait to taste this. Look how beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to share it with your family and friends, you can do that too. Oh, and here's another thing. I have made a Facebook page called Cooking It Real. If you want to join me on Facebook, please consider doing that too. And there I will have links to all my videos, and you know, we can have discussions and just talk to each other and in like real time. All right, let's give this a nice big taste. Crunchy. The black-eyed peas are fully cooked, but like just fully cooked. They are not mushy. They still have all of their shape. When I stirred them up, you know, you saw me stir them with a big spoon, and they still have all of their integrity. So I'm pretty pleased about this. I'm gonna put it in the fridge, let it chill down a little bit, and have some more with my dinner tonight. Anyway, that's about all I have to say today, except that I'm so glad you stopped by, and I hope to see you again real soon.